Here is the challenge. I want you to create this simple application. We have seen everything that we need, and we can simply create this. This is a gym managing application, means that we can see different gym trainings by clicking on the see all activities. We can see a variety of different options, and if I click on them, for example, in this squat one, we can see an image and a long description. Also, I can click on this add to your plan and we can add it in our plan. For example, I want to train 20 minutes for Monday, for example, or other days of the week. By clicking on the add, I can navigate to this plan activity in which I can see my whole week's plan by clicking on this edit. For example, by pressing on this empty circle, I can change the situation of this plan to accomplished by clicking on yes, it will be accomplished. And also by long pressing on this, I can delete it from my weekly plan. And if I delete it, it will be deleted from my plan activity immediately. Also, in this first option, in see your plan, for the first time when I click on this, I will see some button that says you don't have any plan. For example, if I want to add a plan, I will navigate to those all activity plan. I can add different plans to my weekly goal. For example, let's add 15 minutes for Monday. After adding, let's navigate back to our main activity. For the second time, if I click on this see your plan, I can see that this has been added to my weekly plan. Okay, stop the video in here and come back when you created the application. Before everything, I need to import 3 libraries into my project. The first one is Glide because we are going to download images from internet. Add it to your dependency in Gradle module app. The next one is Recycler View. I'm going to use Recycler View. Copy it from Android developers official website. And the other one is CardView. We have worked with CardView previously, and we are using it in here as well. After adding, just click on sync and these all will be downloaded to your project. Okay, I'm going to begin with designing the main activity layout. This first layout just contains 3 simple buttons, nothing special. I probably could have used linear layout instead of this relative layout, but I'm just more comfortable with relative layout. We have 3 text and 3 IDs for these buttons. Nothing special is happening in here. Okay, let's quickly initialize all of this in our Java file. Because of saving your time, I'm just going to cut everything boring that I'm going to type. For example, in here I just defined and initialized my views. Next, let's create the model for the training, for gym training. It will be a simple Java class. Just created a simple Java file demonstrating our gym training. I'm not sure that we are going to use this ID, but I'm going to add it anyway. It will contain an ID, a name, a short description, and a long description, and also an image URL. 2 constructor and getters and setters, and 2 string methods. Nothing else. Because later on I'm going to show all these trainings in all training activity, I'm going to create the recycler view adapter for this training first. For that, I need to create the list item layout for every item that we are going to show in our recycler view. I'm going to call it training list item. Once again, I'm just going to copy and paste In here, I'm using this card view. Let's show the preview. The card view, nothing special, just this corner radius, which will give some radius shape to our card view, and also this card elevation, which will somehow give some 3D look to our card view. And then a text view demonstrating the name of our training, also the image of our training, and the short description. Nothing special is happening in here as well. Next, I need to create the Java class for my recycler view adapter. Let's call it training REST view adapter. First of all, add some logging. Next, I need to create my view holder class. It will extend from recycler view.viewholder. I need to implement the constructor. In here, I need to initialize my views. I'm using this parent in here in order to make the whole card view clickable. Means that by clicking on the entire card view, I'm going to navigate the user to some training activity in order to show more details about that specific training. And notice that I'm giving this parent ID into my card view in this training list item that I just created. In here, I'm giving it some ID and I'm using it in my adapter. Next, I need to extend the recycler view adapter from recycler view.adapter and pass it the view holder that I just created. As you know, I can implement the required methods. In here, I need a context in order to show my images. I need to pass context to Polite. For that, I'm going to receive context. Let's quickly create two constructors. One will receive this context and the other one will be an empty constructor. It's always useful to create this empty constructor because sometimes Android or Android system might not pass anything to your recycler view adapter. So that in those situations, this second constructor will be useful and you won't get some crashes. Okay, let's change all of these as we had before. First, we need to create our view item. Layout inflator.from our view group.getContext.inflate or.layout.training list item. I need to pass view group and false as attached to root. Next, I will create my view holder. Go to new view holder. We will pass our view. Then I will return my holder. In here, in this get item count, I need to pass the list of my gym training that I'm going to show. For that, first I'm going to create my array list of gym training. Make sure to initialize it if you don't want to get any null pointer exception. Then in this get item count, I will pass the size of that array list. Our main job is happening in here in this unbind view holder method. I just need to pass the values to those views that I created. For that, I can say viewholder.txtName.setText to my trainings.get, pass I as a position dot get name. Also for the short description, set text trainings.get I dot get short description. Also, I'm going to use glide for showing the image. Glide.with context that which we will pass later on to this constructor of this adapter. It will be as bitmap. It will load trainings.get.image URL. It will load it into our view holder.image. Next, we just need to create an on-click listener for the parent card view in order to navigate to the other activity that in which we are going to show some more details about our training. New on-click listener, but because we didn't create that activity yet, I'm just going to create a to-do in here. means that I will continue my work in here later on. Navigate to the other activity. Let's create a setter for the list of my training as well. Make sure to notify the dataset after changing it. Now that we have the training recycler view adapter, let's create the other activity, the show all activity, in which we will have a simple recycler view. All training activity. In its layout file, I'm going to change this one to a relative layout, and we'll create a recycler view. Match parent and match parent, and also an ID. Let's initialize it in our Java code as well. Also, let's create the training recycler view adapter as well. Private adapter, initialize it before the recycler view. Adapter is equal to new training recycler view adapter. Make sure to pass the context, which is this in this case. If you don't pass your context, it will use the second constructor in here. And when we are working with Glide, this context will be null. Make sure to pass the context in here. Okay, let's set the adapter to our recycler view. Set adapter to adapter. Also, let's set a layout manager for this recycler view as well. I'm going to pass a simple linear layout to this recycler view. Also, let's make sure that our recycler view items will come to the center of our parent layout. For that, first of all, let's give some padding to this relative layout. I'm going to stay with 15 dp, and then I need to center this relative layout horizontally. But in order to do that, I also need to change this width to wrap content. As we did few times for now, instead of using some database or web server, I'm going to use static values, because we don't know anything about web server or databases. For that, I'm just going to create a utility class. In here, first of all, let's add some logging. Next, I will create some array list demonstrating all of my trainings. Gym training, let's call it all trainings. Also, I need to change this one to static, because we are going to use it in all of our project, and I need this one to be the same in all of my project. Next, let's create some constructor. The other method that I'm going to create is a method to initialize this array list. Public static void initialize all. In here, before everything, I need to make sure that if it's the first time that user has launched the application, I want to assign some values to this all training or initialize this array list. For that, I'm going to check if null is equal to all trainings. All trainings is equal to new array list. That's all. After that, let's paste some value, and we will see what all of these are. I'm just creating 4 different gym training. I get all of these from Wikipedia. I'm not sure if these are the name of real gym trainings or not. I'm not a bodybuilder. Also, I'm assigning some image URL, some long description, and some lazy ass short description to every gym training. And after defining the gym training, I'm assigning it to my array list up in here. Nothing special in here, just for simple training. Okay, I think it's a good point to stop the video in here. In the next video, I will create this gym training activity, which we are going to navigate from this recycler view adapter. And also, I will give the user the ability to add some of these trainings to his or her weekly plan. See you in the next video.